Good morning, Turf's Up Radio. Trying to wait these semis out as they drive by and make a bunch of noise. Anyway, Aaron Walls. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we will walk in with a little bit of stereo side. Stick around. We'll talk about some patience.
What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend. Will we ever be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. Have a right to lose control. Don't let go. I often tell myself that we could be more than just friends. I know you think that if we move too soon, it would only end. I live in misery when you're not around, and I won't be satisfied till we've taken those vows. There'll be some love making, heartbreaking, soul shaking. There'll be some love making, heartbreaking, soul shaking. What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend. Will we ever be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. Have a right to lose control. Don't let go. Running in and out my life, it's got me so confused. You gotta make the sacrifice. Somebody's gotta choose, and we can make it if we try. For the sake of you and I, together we can make it right. What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend. Will we ever be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. Have a right to lose control. Don't let go. Have a right to lose control. Don't let go. Have a right to lose control. Don't let go.
Here we go.
Ready?
Good way to wake up. Okay, a little bit of political announcement. Looks like Jimmy Kimmel has been yanked off the air. Not a fan of the show, never really was. But he said something about Charlie Kirk. I could be wrong when I read this. It says, this is what they say Jimmy Kimmel said. I don't know. I don't watch the show, but this is what Google said. Google could be wrong. Quote, this is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he calls a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. So, I mean, but he's always kind of been like that. I guess it kind of got him the boot, as far as I know. And, you know, it could be just internet jargons. I don't know. I mean, people get fired for saying and doing shit all the time at work. So I guess if you get fired for saying something you shouldn't say at work, part of it. Now, if they just canceled him to cancel him, I don't like that. I don't like censorship. I mean, say what you want to say. People say stuff all the time. I know people in my family who spread negative stuff all the time on the internet, but I don't want them to stop doing it. If, you know, just because someone says stop doing it, they should stop doing it because they see the light. So I don't know if this dude seen the light or what happened, but he's a pretty negative dude anyway. Kind of liked He held a fire to the mob. Let's go get him. Kind of what I saw from the guy. Never really saw any entertainment from him. Even when he was doing the Girls on Trampoline show, what was it? The Man Show? He never really presented himself as a man. Not one that I would idol anyway. Or you shouldn't idol a man anyway. But anyway, his shows were usually distasteful. And they lacked a lot of humor. I don't know if the other guy, Adam Carolla, whatever happened to him? Don't see or hear much about him anymore. He did the Man Show, and then they did something else. I can't remember. I think it was Loveline he was on. Yeah, it was Loveline with Adam Carolla. I just never really thought that guy was funny either. So here's some Red Sun Rising. We'll talk about some patience when we get back from rocking out and drinking some coffee. If you're not walking fast yet, you might. There we go. Aaron Walls, Landscape Roots. I was responding to a hot dog cart option here. We're running into a little bit of issues here with this insurance stuff. I'm not gonna lie, it's aggravating me. It's teaching me about patience. Of course, I know about patience. but it's let me know how much I actually have. And it's not a whole lot. Here we go. Give me a second. Let me get this out. I'll be right back. I'm jamming a little hard this morning, but it's got a purpose. Everything's got a purpose.
It started out, we were great friends. It went sour, couldn't cash us in, no. We figured out that we'd rather do without, find our way back to our roots again. It seems now that you're trying to come around, but it's too late, cause you held us down for so long. So long. It's meant to be, you just don't know yet. But one day, someday, you're gonna regret pushing me aside while you get your fix. Watching me squirm while you lick your lips, yeah. For so long, for so long, for so long. So you're a big shot sitting on top. Ain't got no time for the little guy. Well, it seems now that you're trying to come around, but it's too late, cause you held us down. It's meant to be, you just don't know yet. But one day, someday, you're gonna regret pushing me aside while you get your fix. Watching me squirm while you lick your lips, yeah. It's meant to be, you just don't know yet. But one day, someday, you're gonna regret pushing me aside while you get your fix. Watching me squirm while you lick your lips, yeah. So long, so long, so It's been such a while, but how we've grown. Just seem like you listen to what we've become. It's meant to be, you just don't know yet. But one day, someday, you're gonna regret pushing me aside while you get your fix. Watching me squirm while you lick your lips, yeah. It's meant to be, you just don't know yet. But one day, someday, you're gonna regret pushing me aside while you get your fix. Watching me squirm while you lick your lips, yeah. So long, so long, so long.
There we go. Ain't nothing like waking up with some Stereo Side. These guys are underrated. Check them out. Stereo Side. Say it one more time. Okay, so let's pull up some gambling. Miami Dolphins suck bad. They're a terrible ball club, but if you want to wake up with some gambling with Landscaper Roots, give us a call. Let's get you set up and ready to gamble, have some real entertainment, as long as you can do it with some restrictions. If you've got no restrictions in life, you probably don't need to be gambling. Can't hold back. All right, let's pull it up. Let's see what ESPN says about this ball game. They're not wanting to show it at all, which is weird. Making you want to search for it. This is stupid. Come on now, it's the NFL. There we go. Jeez. Dolphins. Bills. What's it? Oh my goodness. It's got the Bills winning by 11.5. Daniel, your Dolphins ain't doing so hot. They need a lot of help. Okay, it's got 77.2% chance win on the Bills. Now, let's go over here to DraftKings and see what they're offering for this. Let's see. DraftKings, what do you say about the Dolphins at the Bills? Can't be much. There's probably only parlays. The only way you can win any money on this ball game. All right. So the NFL has got it's 12.5 from DraftKings. So it's a minus 850. If you bet $10, you can win 11. So you're gonna win $1.17 if you bet on the Bills. Let's see here. I think this is what I think. Let's see. Same. Oh, Ghost Leg Parlay token opt in. Okay. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna bet on the Dolphins to win, which is unlikely. And then what else are we gonna do? When we gamble on this game, we gotta pick a couple more. So anytime TD score. Let's see. Let's see if it'll let me do this. There we go. And no, let's do All right. And then this is probably going to be a terrible game for the Dolphins. I don't see, maybe Alec and Gold. He might score one. I doubt it. Tua Tagovailoa. Man, they're just so bad. The Dolphins are so bad. I don't see Tua scoring because he's terrible at running. Julian Hill. Where's Tyreek Hill? Did they freaking sit him because he's so pissed? Here we go. He has to score this game, right? 4-pick parlay. Here we go. Wager amount minimum wager is $20. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see if this works out. I'm assuming it won't. I'm going to take out this $20 because there's no way that's going to work. We'll see. Bam. Dolphins money line. Tyreek Hill, James Cook, Josh Allen. This is about as unlikely as me hiring somebody. So the payout on this would be great, but the chances of this happening is, yeah, right, unlikely. I don't know if you guys been doing the Ghost Leg Parlay, but it seems to be pretty friendly. Let's see if one of them happens. We don't know. There we go. No, that wasn't it. Also, we want to talk about patience. Patience has been... It's been a challenge for me. No, I'm not doing that. All right, sorry. There it is. All right, so already had that in there one time. Let me respond to this. Be right back. Give me a second. 5 seconds.
Nobody around here does it quite like me, you see. I bring it down real low to get you in the groove of me. We can laugh or we can cuss or we can fight. We can make love or we can raise hell all night. I'm a mystery to summer night. I've got a great big heart and that's my windfall. We can laugh or we can cuss or we can fight. But if you ask me real nice, I'll tell you
Here we go. All right. Patience. That's what I want to talk about. Why do I want to talk about patience? Here, I'll set the stage. Been dealing with the hot dog cart and insurance. Okay, so loss of income. What is loss of income? Did I actually lose loss of income? Yes, Saturday. I had a hot dog cart that was not functionable. Went out there and checked the cold water. Cold water does not work. When the dude said, "Hey, you can use this thing," I didn't see anything wrong, so he visibly checked it. That's it. It's got gas lines, plumbing lines, all that. He just said, "I didn't see any issues. You should be good to go." Okay. All right. So, do you want to light it? All right. Red flag number one. Next, I spoke to loss of income lady. I said, "Hey, I'm averaging about 700, 800 bucks on sales. So, if we could go ahead and assume like this weekend I would be out. We'll just say I do it one day a weekend. That would be last weekend, this weekend. We would just go ahead and do 1,500 and call that a total or a loss of income issue." She goes, "Yeah, that's fine. Just let me know when to pick up the cart and we can close this thing out." Yesterday, I get an email that says, "Hey, that won't work. My supervisor needs proof." I sent back an email that said, "Sure, we can take the longest route possible if you want. I don't think that's necessary, but I will take off work from my lawn care business and go to my accountant, get all this turned in early. That way I lose income on the lawn care business now. So this route is extremely long, but this must be the way y'all want it. So if you want to pay more, sure. But that's the route we'll take. But I am losing my patience. I want to cancel this thing out, get it solved, get this thing going, get it out of my way. I don't want this lingering. Next route would be call an attorney. Let them handle it because I don't have the patience to listen to their shit. So we'll see. I might as well ask this dude now if he takes it. Mm, Income. I'll ask a lawyer now. There we go. All right. So yeah, if it comes down to the point where they're just, dicking around, I don't have time to be dicking around. I'd rather be out there working, selling hot dogs, but I can't. I gotta go find one. They totaled mine. Mine was now a piece of junk. So, yeah, I'm losing my patience with it. So I thought I'd talk about patience. We got to practice it. What's it do to us? What does it cause? What does it cause when we have lack of patience? What does it do to our day? Does it eat you alive? I mean, it's basically just about waiting. It's also how we act while we wait. I, in the past, have acted out with lack of patience. The right now. Like, I want this fucking shit solved right now. If it doesn't get solved right now, then how do I act? How do I present a solution for this while I wait? Why do I want it right now? Why is my life like that? Why I want it right now? I can take a look at my grass outside and think, man, I need this to be growing right now. Why do I have lack of patience? Where does it go? I don't know where it goes. I know where I want it to be. I want it to be right where I want it. And I need it to be there. Why? Why do I need this? What's it doing to me? Sorry, I had a message come in. No, I can't do that. Can't do that either. Yes. Okay, so sorry. Had a message come in. And there we go. All right, we'll be right back as I deal with my patience and how it's growing thin with insurance. So here we go. Aaron Walls with Landscaper Roots. If you got tips on patience, bring them in. We'll figure it out together as a family here on Turfs Up Radio.
Use a better piece of your mind, but you're inside out, and the whole world's there to see you. Does it make you want to think about the tragic things in this life? If you want to cry, it's hard to deny that it makes me want to die for the madness that's in this world. If you want to die, well, it's over now. If you want to be and hold you down. If you want to find the way, the door is like the key is rusted. So break away from all these chains that bind you, cut you at the wrist. Or does it make more sense to just go and make the scar yourself? Because you like to see it bleeding, and you like the color red. You've seen the lights through the hate and all the lies and the madness that's in this world. If you want to die, well, it's over now. If you want to beat the world, it might reach up and pull you down. If you want to find the way, the door is like the key is rusted. To rusted, to find a way. To rusted, to find a way. I gotta find. If you want to be the world.
Here we go. Patience. Kicking my ass. Don't have time for it. What about you? What do you do with patience when you know it's eating you alive? Also, I've never done a brick border, so I'm starting here at my house. I want to talk about a slow process. And I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing other than I got a buddy who does it. He said, you put sand under it. So I got that poly whatever sand. I'm putting it under it. And then I put a brick on it. And I beat the piss out of it. And then I put another one down. And I beat the piss out of it. Until they're even and level. As level as the eye can see. And then I hit it one more time. And then I move on to the next brick. And then when I get done with all this, I'm going to take that sand and pour it over top and then spray it with water. And then apparently it stays there forever. I don't know. I ain't never done it. It takes forever. It's hard work. It's usually why I hire him to do it. But I don't want to hire him to do it at my house because there's nobody else paying for it but me. I don't want to do it. So it takes a lot of sand. It takes a lot of banging around on your knees. This is terrible. This is the worst job ever. I don't see how people do it. I don't have patience for it. Let's see. So what's a strength that keeps you from burning bridges? How do you keep from burning bridges when your patience is thin? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Customers can test our patience. Let's see. Sorry. Customers can test our patience, weather delays in lawn care, because you can't fight the rain. You can't fight the snow. Well, I mean, actually, you can fight the snow with a plow and a salt box. So growth in business takes time. I remember praying for where I'm at now, but now that I'm here, I'm praying to be there. Like I can't wait to get over there when I'm here. I got to be able to realize that I've got it good. So back to patience. Why can't I just understand that this is the way things are? They got a process. Let them take their process. When was the last time impatience cost you something? Money, relationship, peace of mind. Patience in business is a killer sometimes. Building business takes years, not weeks. So if you're just starting out and you don't have 48 lawns and you've only got two and you're still working a full-time job, that's part of it. Nobody starts with a million. Everybody starts with just one. Heard a guy say this before, and it's pretty true. You know, a lawn ain't shit unless you ain't got one. A contract ain't shit unless you ain't got one. A truck ain't nothing unless you ain't got one. One lawn ain't nothing unless you ain't got one. Patience with equipment investments. Gotta have patience. You gotta be able to understand that stuff. Don't buy too fast. But then you can't wait too long. We don't know what that gray area is. It usually comes with communications with others in the industry and then having them work with you and then you going out and making mistakes. And when I say you, I'm not a teacher. I'm speaking as if it's Aaron because I've done all this. Patience has its place with marketing, flyers, door knocking. Ads don't work instantly. So, door knocking, I've done it. I've knocked on doors and said, I'm Aaron. I do landscaping. Here's my business. Do you need any work? I don't have to do that anymore, but I've done it. It sucks. It's humbling. It definitely taught me patience because I had nothing to rely on but God. I still do the same, but I believe God rewards effort. So when I worked a job and got off and then went and knocked on doors, and I'm not talking two or three, it's 200 or 300 a day after getting off work. So I feel like God rewards effort. I remember when I had more patience then than I do now. We want customers to call 5 minutes after we post a Facebook ad, right? It's unrealistic. But half the time, the only one liking it is our sister or brother or uncle that we never talk to. Other people see it and they'll call it when they need to, I guess, but you gotta stay consistent. I'm terrible at the consistency button. I could do it now, but now's radio time. When I get off radio, I kind of eliminate my social media time. So here's my social media time. My social media time is right now. So right now I'm on the radio. Well, when I get off the radio, I'm going to make breakfast, which is a shake, and then I drink it. And then I'm out the door by, I don't know, 7:20. So when I get off work, I get the kids. I come home. I'll check it for messages, but they usually got a lot of shit they want to tell me. And then when they're done telling me what they want to tell me, then the wife gets home. And then we have husband-wife time. So social media is just I don't have a lot of it. So I could be better at posting stuff, and then, the patience part would kick in, waiting on ads to go through, but I don't have the time. I made here you go. I made a TikTok 2 or 3 weeks ago. I have a TikTok account now for the hot dog cart. That way I don't have to have all that shit. It's on my phone. I haven't watched not one fucking video on there. Not one. Not even my own. I'll put them on there, but I don't watch TikTok videos. Now, when the kids were dragging ass and waiting around coming out of the school, that's when I would watch YouTube videos, and I'd watch it on lawn care guys, but I just I haven't been able to watch it. I don't have time, so I don't really know what's going on out there anymore. I don't. I had more time. Let's see what Weiner said. See what Weiner said. Let's pull this up. Weiner. We have a video in the Profit Circle on that exact topic: when to buy equipment or add a crew. See, there you go. You don't have to not know shit. There is places to know stuff, and they got it. They got a pretty good library of knowledge. Now, when I got some pain, I call. And then when I feel like I can do it on my own, I go out there and create pain because I usually fuck it up, but it's not intentional. I do want to grow on my own. I do want to grow with some mistakes. I also want to try and see if I can win. I am hard on myself. I say that I'm less than at times, and then I prove myself wrong, which is, I feel like, a good character defect, I guess. Maybe I like to challenge myself. There's certain people in my circle that have always told me I'd be less than or would not make it. You know what I mean? They've been, they've always been a naysayer in my life, which I think it transfers over. It transfers over to my brain. Like, they're right. I think I need to prove them wrong. And then I tell myself the same shit. So growing up, some of these same people have always told me I'm, I remember someone very close to my circle told me, you're not going to make a living mowing grass. I remember that. I had to be patient getting there, but I couldn't wait to be like, yeah, you know what? Go on, fuck right off. You've never been really much of a supporter, so you've always been the naysayer. I will get there eventually. Just like patience. I will get there being patient with this insurance company, which can be quite challenging. But I did call Brad yesterday and he said, "Hey man, I'm driving home anyway. You got all the time in the world." Wayne's right. They didn't know that I was going to meet Wayne and Kyle. There's there's people that want to see me fail. It's like they get success or a sick sense of pleasure of watching me fail and not succeed. Been like that my whole life. Not quite sure why they've always ended up in my life and been there, but they're there. It's up to me to allow them in. They get very little in time, but when they are, they make sure to let me know how negative they're going to be and what they think about me. So I need patience with them, and I have to show a loving and kind approach to mean and negative people. I just do. I have to. Uh, yeah, I think I'd have made it there on my own, Wayner. It would have been a long route. Making enough mistakes. I've figured out that there's no real reason why I can't ask questions. I still like to fuck up. I do. I like to fuck up at times. Not intentionally. It's just I like to learn hard way. Now, I will learn from some wins. Now, when I do things right, I'm like, all right, and here's a way. Like, go out there, sell some Christmas lights at a good price. What the market will bear. So, at the high end, I would say people are really kicking ass if they're selling it at $12 a foot. But on average, if you're getting it 7 and 8, that's really really good. I started out at $4 or $5 a foot, and then went up to 6, and consistently now I'm at 8. That's a win. There's that took patience to get there, and I thought I was winning at like $4 or $5 a foot, and then talking to Marlo, and he's like, you could probably do a little bit better than that, but takes a little bit of humility. Gotta have some humility to be able to accept that, hey, I'm wrong. And maybe it's just my perception of thinking these people want me to fail and that they thrive and their fangs are salivating at the thought of me failing. Maybe it's just my perception. Maybe they want me to win. They just have a weird ass way of saying it. And they'll laugh. They'll be like, "Oh man, that Christmas light thing it's not going to work around here. I see where people do it, but it's not going to work for you." And they'll visit. I'll see it come out of their lips. I'm like, you really are hateful, ain't you? Well, sit back and watch. I'm gonna give it a shot. So, you've been negative my whole life. I don't know why you wouldn't stop being now. So, anyway, let's bring in some jams, drink some coffee down, see what it does to your stomach and your brain, because coffee tends to excite everything in my body, including my hair. Here we go, since I don't have any. Stick around. Be right back.
Is it real? We're always the same. We're almost undone now. Well, I was caught in the rain, wasting my time on the ground, waiting the call of what would you say, and can you come over? Well, I was caught in the rain, wasting my time on the ground. It was you who could get me high with whatever you say. You're telling me something real. What we do, it doesn't matter now. Whatever it takes for you to stay with me. Trading thoughts across the room, I saw you surrounded. I was caught in the rain, wasting my time on the ground. Feeling is fall without an escape. I almost let you down. I was caught in the rain, wasting my time on the ground. It was you who could get me high with whatever you say. You're telling me something real. What we do, it doesn't matter now. Whatever it takes for you to stay with me. It was you who could get me high with whatever you say. You're telling me something real. What we do, it doesn't matter now. When I was caught in the rain, you made me feel, mad, mad.
go. Got some coffee in. Straight black. I started drinking straight black coffee a few years ago. Actually, several years ago now, I think. 19, maybe? 2019? I used to put cream and sugar and everything. But it made me nauseous. But I'm dumb enough to do shit until it, like, makes me sick. I did it like that for years. But being in prison, it was like the pinnacle of the day, you know. You felt normal sitting on your rack. You go over to a hot bar, or not a hot bar, hot pot. That's where it'll be on the wall and they'll keep hot water and it's always got hot water in it. So you get instant coffee. And I have my own mug. And you put some Keefy coffee. I don't know if you guys have ever drank instant coffee. But it was a magical time. And I learned more patience than anything in or behind some sort of fence or wall. Now, sitting in there, you can't go nowhere. You can't. There's so many things you can't do, and you just got to wait on the experience. It's got to go through. You know, you can write a letter. Of course, I think you can text and shit now. I think there's computers and kiosks where you get shit instantly, which I don't agree with. Nothing was more miserable than fucking waiting. I would write a letter. So Dad was in he was in a level 1. So he had a better job than I was in a level 2. I'd gotten in a fight, and then when I got in a fight, right before I left, there was an injury. So this dude had some injuries, and then when the fight was over, he bit me. So they put me on medicine, which made me a level 2, which a level 1, you don't have a fence. So Dad was in a level 1 for what he did. And I would write letters. You have to get approval to write letters to your family. So I'd write a letter to him, and I'd have to wait for it to come back. You know, it'd take 4 or 5 days for him to get it, and then he'd get it, and then it'd take 4 or 5 days to get it back. So, and that was about the only mail I got. Visits were very few and far between. So I think that's where I gained most of my patience was there. It's like, what are you doing here? You know, I could scream in there all day long, like, hey, I'm in here, you know, and nobody's going to hear it. Nobody gives a fuck. You know, that tells you patience. It's like, you know, I really had to dig deep and like, man, how much patience do I really got? I didn't have any at the time, but by the time I got out of there, I'm like, I got a pocket full of patience now. I think that's where I figured out how to wait. Dad had a better job in a level 1 prison because you got more. You didn't have a fence, you know. You had an actual job where, and, you know, a lot of them are state bound, you know, because you're award to the state, and you know, highway stuff, parks and stuff like that. So you get a real job, you know. And he made more money, so sometimes he would send me money from one prison to the other, and I was working on the highway, but I didn't have a good job. I think it was 67 cents a day, which gave me the money to buy my own soap, my own deodorant, my own coffee, and my own noodles. That meant after dinner, I would have my own little dinner because what they give you isn't very fun. So my patience would have to kick in. It was like, all right, I've got just enough to have 1 pack of noodles when I get back to the dorm, and then 1 cup of coffee, and then I could have 1 in the morning. And it was that time to myself to where it's like, Aaron, you don't have to live like this forever. You don't. You just got to figure out a different way. Anyway, so patience. money. Patience is saving and investing. So there's a lot of faith involved and spirituality involved. Trusting God's timing. Now, I think it comes with age. I don't know that anybody in their younger years, I would say underneath 30, you're underneath that and you got patience, you were probably raised in a house with mom, dad, and dad worked, and mom was able to mother you. I would say the more the world gets away from that, the harder things will be. That's just an opinion. Do not take it as I don't want women doing women things. I do. They want their fair shot. I think they should have it. I also feel like that the world was a different place when mothers were mothering children. So I did a lot of wandering myself, and there may have been a different outcome if, we'll just leave it at that. But what area of your personal life is asking you to slow down and be more patient right now? What areas you got? I don't know. What happens without patience? So we got stress. We can mess up some relationships. We can get burnt out. We spoke about burnout for about 2 weeks or a week. I hit on it. Daniel hit on it. So we've all sent emails and texts way too quick. We reacted instead of having a response. We get that feeling inside like this mother, what I mean? We get that and then we react. We've got to grow up and grow out of that. We got to learn how to respond instead of react. We don't want to react in emotions. Nothing is ever good come of that. Maybe a learning experience, but that's about it. You can't rush growing grass like I've been trying. I've been trying to create the right conditions for my lawn. Okay, I've told people to do this for a few years now, and I'll have better experience now that I've done it here at my house. Even though I have zero patience most of the time, growing grass is one of the worst experiences of my life. It is so slow. It is. So I don't know what your practical tools are for your patience when like someone initially pisses you off. I spoke to Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, hey, has anybody ever got you out of pocket as a customer? You know what I mean? They've been like just extremely rude and they wanted you to react. He's like, nah, I've never really had anybody have me to the point where I'm engaging in a negative conversation. He's been able to hold that. And since having that conversation with him, I wrote it down here, no negative reviews. I got it there, no negative reviews. When I walk out this office, I had to have patience. I had to lose patience with several people before I talked to somebody. I'm like, hey, have you ever done this? And he's like, no, I mean, I wanted to, but I've been able to hold it. That's something to look up to and, kind of gain some knowledge. Like, I need to act better. I need to respond better. So I can expect delays. Right? So I'm leaving today. I can expect some sort of delay somewhere. I already know that this might happen. So I got to listen to people. I need patience. Setbacks are part of the process. They are. Fucking sucks. All right. But we got to walk with it. Here's another one. Do you have a watch? I know everybody's got a phone. So when you're speaking with someone, how long until you look at that because of the time? Do you look at the time before you start the conversation? And have you ever looked at it while in the conversation? Is this rude? Are you impatient? Does this show a sign of impatience? I wear a watch. I do. I wear a watch. Now, it's one of them watches where if you fall, it'll call 911 or whatever. So My wife and kids got that because I mow by myself a lot. But I've noticed that sometimes I'll do it and I'm like, man, this is rude. I don't know why I just did that. I think that's an area I'm going to work on from now on. I need to be inside the conversation no matter how long it is. I need to give someone my full attention. I don't like when I'm right here right now. I'm already thinking I need to be in the kitchen making a shake. That's where I'm at. I've always been like that. So today, where I want to work on me and my patience is when I'm inside of a conversation, I don't need to look at my phone or watch for the time. I feel like someone sees that and they want to rush through it or just shut it down and they're like, you rude ass fucking dude. You couldn't wait, 3 minutes. So that's what I want to work on. Patience. Hopefully, you gained a little info today. It's Aaron Walls with the Landscaper Roots. Eric Jones and Jennifer Jones will be following me, where education meets entertainment. They're the real deal. My show is for entertainment purposes only. Do not live your life like me. Do not hold me accountable. Or, well, you can hold me accountable, but do not hold Turfs Up Radio accountable for anything stupid that I say. Go out and win today. If you need patience, put it back in your pocket and just hang on to it and then just be part of the day. Stick around. Got more to come. Here we go. Close it out with a little bit of highly suspect, I think. I don't know. We'll shut it down, make room for Eric here in a second.